Great Debaters Contest is brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.
It's the Great Debaters Contest. I am your host, Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bashar. In Eldoret region, we have giants such as Sacho High School and Metkei girls, and they are debating on whether euthanasia should be an option given to terminally ill patients. We'll let the pros do it now. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Euthanasia. I would like us all to take ourselves to the world of imagination and ask ourselves, if one day you found yourself being an orphan, your elder sister or either your elder sibling is the breadwinner of the family. She falls ill, HIV/AIDS. She's in her last stage, full-blown AIDS. The only way you can help her is through giving her ARVs. And to acquire these ARVs, you have to buy them. A tablet costing 4,000 shillings per day for 365 days, for a month, for years, for weeks. Imagine buying them. Would you? Would you bear the pain? Would you rather drop school and let your sister be healed, or would you actually agree to let her go and continue with life? I'm Jacqueline Moimet, standing in for the proposers to propose the motion, euthanasia should be a choice available to terminally ill patients. I will start by explaining the meaning of euthanasia. Euthanasia is the act of ending the life of a person painlessly to prevent further suffering of these people. This can be done through administering painkillers or in an overdose so that this person can die in their sleeps. We can also do this by withdrawal of vital treatment, such as the life support machines. You can switch it off and this person will die within minutes without even feeling it. I support this motion because it is a way of showing mercy to these people. Instead of letting them suffer in their beds, in their sick beds, day in, day out, they become vegetatives in their beds. Why should you watch them suffer? If this person is an icon to you, would you stay and watch them waste away each and every day of your life? Would you? If it was me, I wouldn't. And I believe that you also would not. Again, it is also a way of receiving our resources, because if we continue trying to save these people who will never, and we know that terminally ill patients are these patients that in less than 6 months, yes, they will die. There is no way that we can save them anymore. There is no way that these people are going to get well, terminally ill. You can imagine such a state. Now, if we continue wasting our resources on this kind of people, and we know that they're never going to get well, then why waste yourself? Why keep on trying to save someone who's never going to come back? You cannot tell me you're having full-blown AIDS, a miracle is going to happen and you're going to come back to life. No, it is not possible. And that is why we, the opposers from Metkei Girls Secondary School, oppose the motion. Yes, you may call it merciless killing, you may call it murder, but I will call it mercy killing. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 3 minutes for your opening statements.
It's so sad to stand here. Sometimes I ask myself, what path is humanity leading? Are we going to kill people? That's the question I'm asking. For those who are good with nature and historical nature, let me take you 100 years ago. 2 people, 2 Germans, under the regime of Nazi reign of Adolf Hitler, came up with a book, Destroy Unworthy Life, of euthanasia. And countries that are actually practicing euthanasia, Netherlands, Switzerland, Oregon State, and Belgium, are actually leading the slippery path. And it comes to me that if the government officials were to attend this debate, it would be so sad to hear someone saying that ARVs are being bought. Don't you know that ARVs are being provided free to people? That's the question that I'd like to ask them. Concurring with religious views on this topic, euthanasia, going according to the Quran and going according to the Bible, don't you think that euthanasia killing is actually going against the principles in our religion? Life is a God-given gift, and no one has the reverence to take it on its own way. That's the words of the Bible. According to the Quran, and those Muslims who are in the house can quote me, it is he who gives life has the ability to take life. Who do you think we are for us to be able to take lives? Injecting lethal injections? Is that the way we can go? That's not the way we can go, definitely. I'm pretty sure in this audience there are many people who want to be doctors, right? By show of hands, how many of us want to become doctors? Why is there a need to become doctors? By the way, from now I'm asking you, change your profession. Why is there a need to become a doctor? Take the Hippocratic oath of not allowing someone to die, and yet you assist that person to die. Is there a need to do that? No need, definitely no need of doing that. The other thing is involuntary homicide. There are actually 4 types of euthanasia: voluntary, involuntary, non-voluntary, passive, and active. Involuntary euthanasia is actually homicide. That is against the law of our country. The other thing is devalues human life. Is there a need to live? Yet you know when you get infected by disease, you're going to die. Then all of us will be dead by now, right? The other thing is the path that you're taking is a slippery slope. Countries that have stated, Netherlands, Switzerland, and Oregon State, 1.7% statistics shows of 2009 of the deaths are caused by euthanasia. And this is something that the legislatures are trying to remove. It was taken to the House of Lords by the British government, but it was refused. Why? Simply degrades the constitution and degrades the religious views of the people. As I conclude, I'd like to give you statistics that will leave you mind-boggling. 86% of medical practitioners are against euthanasia, and I guess the 14% are these other people. And so, as I conclude, euthanasia is a choice. The ball is in your court, and you have to decide what to do. But for me, from Sacho High School signing off, I stand against euthanasia. Thank you.
Time now for rebuttals. Proposers, you have 3 minutes.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chopkoch Sharon from Metkei Girls. I'm here to propose the motion. Euthanasia should be a choice available to terminally ill patients. First, to my opponents, we did not just mention that when administering this euthanasia, we use lethal drugs. We just said we can use an overdose. To my first point, human beings have choices. I have a choice. You too have a choice. And when I choose in my bed, I'm crippled by this disease. It is taking me down, and I see no option. The doctor has just estimated some days for me to live. Then why should I continue living? And I make a decision that euthanasia should be performed on me. Why don't you just respect my decision and choice and have me euthanized? To my second point, euthanasia relieves pain and suffering. Would you just bear this situation where someone is just lying on the bed, they're really sick, every part of their body is screaming with pain, and you're just there. Imagine this is your mother, watching her cry. Why should you just stand there? It is better for you to relieve your mother from this pain and help her so that she may just die a dignified death. Not that death that can be compared to a dog. Let them just have their way and die a dignified death. To my third point, euthanasia promotes economic progress. Why should we have these people? They are unproductive. They can't move. They can't do anything. What benefit do they have to the economy? And we should just do away with these people and have people who are able. They can build the nation. They can make things happen in the nation because they are able. To my fourth point, euthanasia spares relatives and friends the agony. Imagine this is a baby. She has a dad, a very successful dad. She has always looked up to this dad. One day I love to be like my daddy. Then all of a sudden, a disease comes, cripples the dad. The dad is on the bed. The dad can't do anything. He has everything to be done for him. If it means feeding, he has to be fed. Actually, this dad of his has been reduced into a baby. Look, put yourself in that shoe of that baby. That baby obviously will just look and say, surely life has nothing to offer me. And just look into the future. Will they continue having that spirit of fighting? Definitely no. And that's why I strongly say euthanasia should be an option to these terminally ill patients. Thank you.
Opposition, time for your rebuttal. You also have 3 minutes.
My. Pains me that we forget who we are. We are humankind by God. Have we forgotten our responsibility to humans? Have we forgotten that we owe to take care of each other? Have we forgotten that God made us to be our brother's keepers? For my opponent, You said that the cost of drugs is going to make the economy go low. Does that mean that death is building economy? The New England Journal of Medical Care has shown that $40 are required every day for healthcare containment for terminally ill patients. Let me just flip your perspective a little bit. If we find that there is high cost of containment for terminally ill patients, then that means that we are able to change this perspective. In what way do I mean this? I mean that if we see that there is a high cost of containment, we can change this. We can lower the price of medicine that is required. When we allow euthanasia, we are trying to say that we also allow homicide. Involuntary euthanasia has been shown that 1.7% of all doctors in Switzerland and in Belgium are actually saying that, let's just kill these people. There is no point of them being here. And why? It is not true. We have been shown in the Hippocratic Law that there is no point of us killing people, or what is the point of us having medical practitioners in this country of ours, in this continent of ours? Euthanasia is going to destroy medical research. If I have HIV and AIDS and I am at my acute stage, then that means that if I die, that we are trying to say that there's no point of doing this thing. There is no answer to this solution. Let's just kill them. Let's just say that this is not going to happen again. Let's just say that there is no solution to this. This is killing the future. 56% of all people who are under euthanasia in Belgium are shown that it is because of fear of future dependency. Why am I saying this? When we are dependent to the people in our community, then that means that it's a problem. But no, it's not a problem. Disabled people at a risk of abuse. It has shown that 200 Germans die because of what? Adolf Hitler did not want these people. He wanted to build a regime. So what is the point of having one of our members in the parliament to be taking care of these minority people? What is the point then? What are disabled people doing in our community? They also have a right to live. Then it denies the opportunity of patients to grow. In what way do I mean this? In the final stages, when someone wants to die, we find that there is a sorrow. We find that there is something that succumbs them, that makes them look like they want to die. It makes them feel that I have lived so wrong, and what am I supposed to do? Let me just try one more time to change this. And this might even help them to even go to heaven and not to hell. This formidable lady has been Cynthia Marichana from Sacho High School. Thank you.
Oh, have you seen my M-Pesa? So swift and fast like M-Pesa. It comes in the morning, M-Pesa. Still have it in the night time. Send money easy, M-Pesa. And we love it too.
Take part in the M Challenge by sending your short song, rap, or poem about Safaricom M-Pesa on WhatsApp, and you could win 1,000 shillings in Safaricom airtime.
The proposers have been asked what their view is on human value, and the opposition have been asked what scripture do they have for atheists to convince them that euthanasia is wrong. Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. My name is Faith Boyd from the proposer side. I'm from Metkei Girls. You say that, do we value human life? Of course we value human life, and that is why we recommend euthanasia to be made a choice to the terminally ill patients. Take an example where a person is sick and the sickness is communicable. The person is able to spread the disease to another person. We recommend euthanasia because euthanasia is going to help us to prevent spreading of diseases. And if you are going to eliminate these people through euthanasia, then I think we value human life, because you can imagine how people would have been infected with this disease. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time we embrace euthanasia. Also, euthanasia has really assisted us in many ways. We have talked of, my proceeders have talked about it saving on resources. We really save on resources. You can imagine these people, they are unproductive. They're just in hospitals, they need to be provided, and they give nothing back. You can just imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is better for them to die and save our people. I say it is better for one to die and save 100. It is better for 20 to die and save millions. It is better for them to die and save our people. Ladies and gentlemen, let us embrace euthanasia. Thank you.
Opposers, you have 3 minutes to respond to the audience.
Thank you. I'm Kalima from Sacho High School. I have a question. What if I fall ill right now? Will my mom just say, let him die? He won't be able to help me. He doesn't help my family. No, my mom will not allow me to die. My dad won't, my brother won't, my sister won't. To answer your question, I have an uncle. His name is Tom. He's an atheist. Yet when his daughter was in hospital, he didn't just say, let him die. Let her die. He took care of her. He paid her bill. Yet he does not have any religious basis. Now to my first point. Although the atheists have no religious basis and religious views, then does it mean that they don't have a heart? Please. It means they don't have a religious basis, but everyone has a heart. That is a fact you can't disagree with. To my second point, there's the natural law of nature. Everybody, when somebody has a child, you take care of that child. You know pain of bringing up that child. So what is the point? After bringing him or her up, he gets sick. You take him or her to hospital. Will you let him die? My third point. According to the UN, everybody has a right to medical care. You don't have to choose somebody's way of life. You don't have to say that this person has to die. Why should you choose that person to die? Although there are different types of euthanasia, I don't support it. Why should I end somebody's life? It doesn't make sense. You take somebody to hospital. Then why did you take him to hospital in the first place? You left him to die at home. Okay, think back. You have a family. You love your family. And then your mom falls sick. What will you do? You take her to hospital. You find out that your mom won't make it. You have a few weeks with her. We'll just say, let her die now, save money. If you love somebody, you have a passion for her. You won't feel it when you remove that money to pay for her medication. So I don't think the point of it degrades the economy is not valid. Then if you're saying that these people along the economy of the country, you want to kill them, they are the same people who are building that economy that you want to kill. It does not make sense. Now, if I came to stage right now, if I tripped and fell, I was taken to hospital, my mom finds out I am going to die very soon. She's depressed, she doesn't know what to do, my dad is there, he's confused, my sisters feel the pain. But I will spend my last moments with them, make them feel that I love them. If I leave them now, yet I still have a few weeks, I have to finish my last stage of life together with them. And I leave you with a French quote, Qui vivra, verra, which means he who lives, sees, or as known, kushikwingi kuna mingi. Then what will I see if you end my life? Thank you.
We'll now hear closing submissions. Proposers, you have 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is the difference between existence and living? Do you want these patients to live in such a state where they cannot progress, they cannot move, they cannot see, they cannot speak or even hear a thing? I know that death is something that will never bring celebration in our lives, but sometimes we just have to let go because of what we want in our lives. Yes, in one way or the other, we will be sad. Families will grieve, but in the long run, we will move on. My Bible tells me that God has a plan for each and every person in his life. And if his plan for you is to die through euthanasia, then let it be. Ladies and gentlemen, as the proposers, we rest our case. Thank you.
Proposers, you have 1 minute as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, it actually pains me to stand here to continue arguing this. Why are the proposers saying about other patients, imagine if it was your mother, your father. Imagine if it was your mother or father. Are you ready to live in the guilt of knowing that you saw them die? Are you ready to live in the guilt, that measures that were taken to help them die? No one definitely is ready to live with that guilt. And it leaves euthanasia with a choice. And man has actually forgotten his care of taking responsibility. We as men are forgetting our task. We as people and human beings are forgetting our humane nature. It comes down to our heart. We are supposed to stand and take care and be our brother's keeper. Yet what do? We go for such ways such as euthanasia. Please, are we doing this right? We are the legislators of tomorrow. And are we ready to go down this slippery slope? Definitely not. Euthanasia is a choice. The ball is in your court. You can choose to be the next Michael Jordan. The gloves are in your ring. You can choose to be the next Mayweather. The ball is in the wing. You can decide to score like Barcelona. But I, as Jabez Zomo, I decide to say no to euthanasia. Thank you.
For Metkei, I would just address you as a team first and say that was good mastery of language all across the team. And your style is unique across the board. And, what was lacking for me was the passion expected to execute this particular motion for you to be able to convince us. Jacqueline, it was good definition when you came on board. You well spoken. Powerful ending though when you came. I mean, you're very strong when you came. Sharon, good role playing as a cross-examiner. However, you only examined 1 point. Faith, you're very passionate. You come over, and I expected you would have been the one now to bring the points home. Fair submissions, but you ran off the stage with a lot of time left. For the team, time wasn't well utilized.
Sacho, hi. Jabez, it's good to see you and to say that you have grown. I loved your presentation, and I love the fact that you've read. The fact that you appeal to religion, and not just the Christian religion, but also the Muslim religion. Cynthia, you're a well-read girl. The challenge is the execution of the content. I don't know, it's because you panicked, or because you had a lot to say, but you're a very strong speaker when you stand on stage. So what you need to work on your execution. And finally, Carl, good rebuttal. And I liked your emotional appeal, and also contextualizing the argument by bringing in, examples from within the house to try to justify your position. So to the two teams, this is the thing. If you want to use emotional appeal, it is good, but try to add logic. But if you combine the two, then definitely you have an advantage.
Metkei Girls High School. Jackie, you had a good beginning. I like the fact that you ask us to imagine and you take us on that journey with you. A very good beginning at that point, but I think what was missing was the momentum after that, to help us follow through with you. You had very good reasons, again, as a team. I think when Sharon comes on and Faith, I'm almost convinced that it's okay, to practice mercy killing. That you had very good points, but I think what was lacking is the examples to nail it for us. Sacho High School, I think, Jabez, you are a great public speaker. One of the things that I liked was the fact that you take us back through history and you contextualize, where this actually came from, where the discussion started. So very, very good exposition there. And I like the fact that Carl comes in, and in addition to logic and emotional appeal, that Carl also brings in the ethical appeal in responding to the question. And basically asking us that each of us has a moral code. It doesn't matter what religious affiliation you belong to, but each of us has a moral code that it helps us make decisions on what we are doing. And so in terms of using and applying Aristotle's 3 principles of persuasion, your team did great in that respect. All the best to the 2 schools.
Metkei Girls, the judges awarded you 68.7. Audience, please give them a hand. Sacho High School, the judges gave you 74%.
We'd like to congratulate Sacho High School and tell Metkei that water falls, but it keeps flowing. So all of us here from the Great Debaters Contest, we'd like to thank Safaricom, M-Pesa, and KBC Channel 1, and I urge you to follow us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. I am your host, Austin Nyambok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Keep watching Great Debaters for more wonderful episodes just like this one.
The Great Debaters Contest was brought to you by Safaricom M-Pesa.